A young monk once asked his master, "How can I find my true self?" The master said nothing. He simply picked up a stone, handed it over, and said, "Look, this stone is heavy. If you cling to it, it becomes a burden. If you let it go, it remains a stone." The monk froze, bewildered. "Aren't I already myself? Why should I let go? And if I do, what will be left of me?" Have you ever felt the same contradiction? You strive to become someone, to prove your existence, yet in the stillness of night you wonder, are all those efforts, those roles, truly you? Or are they stones, handed to you by society, family, and culture? You define the present by planning the future, but rarely pause to ask, where am I, right now? You rush through work, always feeling time slipping away. In relationships, you clutch tightly out of fear of loss. In chasing dreams, you run, but every step feels pulled by an unseen hand. You think you are steering your life, yet somehow your joy and sorrow seem entirely bound to whether you actually see the present moment. But here is the real question. Are you truly in the present? Or are you living inside the shadows of the past, replaying voices that aren't yours? Or perhaps you're trapped in the illusion of the future, forever chasing a sense of safety that never arrives. Here lies the paradox. The moment you try to grasp the present, you've already lost it. The moment you strive to define who you are, you've already strayed from your original being. So where, then, is the root of presence? You might dismiss this as abstract philosophy, but think about it. If you cannot touch the root of the present, then every plan, every love, every longing might be nothing more than air, floating without ground. And without roots, won't you eventually drift endlessly in anxiety and fear? So the question stands before you. How will you return to the deepest root, to touch the true present? This is the journey we are about to begin. The difficulty of living in the present is not merely a matter of distraction or habit. It is rooted in deeper psychological structures. The mind is often absorbed in memories of the past and projections of the future, swinging endlessly between regret and anticipation. In psychology, this manifests as anxiety and fear. Anxiety arises from worry about the unknown, while fear clings to the shadows of what has already passed. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from attachment, the grasping at self, at time, at identity. We treat the I as a fixed, enduring entity, but in doing so, we trap ourselves in desire, comparison, and endless striving, blind to the freedom revealed by non-self. Philosophy echoes this. Heidegger spoke of existential anxiety, Nietzsche of eternal recurrence. Both point to the same truth, that unless we confront the nature of time and existence, we remain bound by illusions. Zen offers a radical inversion. The present is not a goal to be reached, but the root already here. Psychology points to mindfulness, Buddhism to shamatha vipassana, calm abiding and insight, philosophy to questioning the very solidity of self and time. All converge on the same core. True freedom does not escape, but return to this moment. Thus, the real problem is not how to find more techniques, but whether you dare to stop chasing and finally see. You are already standing in the present, only veiled by illusion. Imagine an ordinary day. You wake up in the morning, and immediately your mind floods. The work you must finish today, the messages waiting for a reply, that unresolved conversation still lingering. You grab your phone, scroll through endless notifications, and your heartbeat quickens. You haven't even gotten out of bed, yet you've already been dragged into a race that never truly began. This beginning feels normal, but it is in fact a silent chain, because you are not truly here and now. Your attention is consumed by shadows of the past and anxieties about the future. You think you are merely thinking, but in truth, your life is being stolen from you, drop by drop. Within families, the unseen consequence grows even clearer. Parents project their unfulfilled dreams onto their children. Children, burdened by expectations, slowly forget their own desires. And so the cycle repeats. One generation pushes the next further away from the root of presence, leaving only endless comparison and restlessness. Education reinforces the pattern. We are trained to chase grades, achievements, and titles. Yet few ever ask, where is the joy of learning itself? You spend half a lifetime preparing for the future, but in that very process, you lose connection with the present self. Society amplifies it further. Advertisements whisper, happiness lies in the next purchase. Institutions insist safety lies in the next promotion. And so, you chase, you compare, you worry, yet true presence is always absent. That is the terrifying part. The absence of presence does not scream at you. It is not like a disaster that strikes suddenly. It is more like poison dripping silently into your days, eroding your roots little by little. You believe you are moving forward, yet in truth, you are being pulled into a deeper void. So ask yourself, if I keep living this way 10 years from now, will I still recognize myself? Or will I only have become more skilled at escaping the present? You now stand before a threshold. The cage has been revealed, the invisible patterns, the inherited voices, the weight of the past, and the lure of the future. The question that trembles within you is no longer abstract. How do you step out? How do you return to the root of presence? Zen does not offer you a map. It offers you a shock, a turning of the mirror, a reminder that every wound you carry can also be a doorway. Each scar is not just pain, it is the opening through which you can touch the miracle of being alive, here, now. Let us look at 5 pathways drawn from Zen and lived wisdom, ways that, if practiced, can begin to shatter the illusions and lead you back to the root. Number 1. Stopping the chase. A monk once asked his master, "What is enlightenment?" The master replied, "When you are hungry, eat. When you are tired, sleep." You might laugh. How can something so simple be the answer? But reflect. How often do you eat while scrolling your phone, already planning the next meeting? How often do you lie in bed, exhausted, yet still chasing thoughts of tomorrow? Presence begins when you stop running. Stop believing you must be anywhere other than here. Can you taste food without rushing? Can you breathe without demanding it fix you? The moment you truly stop the chase, the present quietly returns. Number 2. Turning wounds into mirrors. A student once complained, "My mind is full of anger. I cannot meditate." The master said, "Then meditate on your anger. Let it be your teacher." What you try to avoid, fear, grief, shame, these are not barriers, they are gateways. Your anger is not a mistake. It is a mirror reflecting where you are clinging. Your grief is not weakness. It reveals the depth of your love. Every wound you bear can be a teacher if you dare to face it. Instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this?" ask, "What is this showing me about the root of my presence?" Number 3. The practice of empty hands. Imagine carrying heavy bags day after day. Your arms ache, yet you refuse to set them down. This is how you live with identity, holding on to labels, stories, possessions, all the stones handed to you. Zen teaches, open your hands, let go. Not because possessions or roles are evil, but because your grasping blinds you to what is already here. When you let go, you discover you were never empty. You were free. Huining's words echo here. From the beginning, not a thing exists. To touch this truth is to realize you are not defined by what you carry. You are defined by the vastness of the space that holds it all. Number 4. Living as if already whole. You spend your life chasing wholeness, believing it lies in the next achievement, the next recognition. But Zen flips this. Wholeness is not at the end of the road, it is at the beginning. The Buddha said, "You are the refuge." Not tomorrow. Not after you have proven yourself. Now. What if you lived as if you were already complete? Not perfect, but complete. Can you see how such a life would shift from striving to expressing, from fear to freedom? Wang Yangming insisted that knowledge and action are one. Presence is not a theory to grasp, but a way of walking, speaking, loving. Each moment becomes an act of wholeness, not a step toward it. Number 5. The courage of not knowing. Another monk asked, "What is the way?" The master replied, "Not knowing is the most intimate." You are taught to fear uncertainty. You crave answers, security, definition. But presence is not found in certainty. It is found in intimacy with the unfolding of each moment. Can you stand in not knowing and still breathe deeply? Can you allow life to reveal itself, instead of forcing it into a cage of explanations? Not knowing is not ignorance. It is trust. It is standing naked before reality, letting it touch you as it is. These 5 doorways are not steps to be completed. They are reminders to return again and again to the root, to eat when you eat, to let wounds speak, to open your hands, to live as if you are whole, to walk into not knowing with courage. But transformation is not instant. Each practice will feel like swimming upstream because the world has trained you otherwise. Family, education, society, they will push you back into the cage of becoming. And yet, the power of Zen lies here. Each moment you return, no matter how small, is already liberation. So the invitation is before you. Stop waiting for a perfect time. Stop waiting to be ready. The root of presence is not waiting in the future. It is beneath your feet right now. The only question is, will you dare to step into it? You have walked through thresholds, faced your wounds, opened your hands, and embraced the courage of not knowing. Now comes the ultimate revelation, the truth that Zen does not merely suggest, it embodies. The paradox is simple, yet shattering. There is nowhere to arrive, nothing to achieve, nothing to fix. All your striving, all your chasing, all your plans, they were never the path to presence. They were the barriers. The moment you stop, the moment you rest in what is, you discover that the root of presence was never ahead of you. It has always been beneath your feet. This is why enlightenment is not a future state. It is not a reward for surviving, for achieving, for proving. It is the realization that you are already complete, already whole, already present. And yet, you cannot force this truth with thought. You cannot will it. You must see it, moment by moment, in the simplest acts of being alive. Drinking water, breathing, feeling the ground under your feet, noticing the light that falls on your hand. Beneath the noise of the mind, beneath the layers of judgment and expectation, there is a silence that is not empty, but full of all things. The past does not exist. The future has not arrived. Only this breath, only this heartbeat, only this awareness. Zen asks you, what is missing? Look closely. There is nothing missing. The incompleteness you have chased is a mirage. The fear you have carried is a veil. And when you let go, when you stop clinging, the veil dissolves. This revelation does not mean life becomes effortless. Pain still comes. Loss still comes. The world remains unpredictable, but the way you meet it changes. You no longer fight the current. You no longer live in resistance. You move with the flow of existence, anchored in the root of presence. And here is the final insight, the one that can transform everything. You are never separate from the now. It is not a place to reach, a state to earn, or a prize to win. It is the very texture of your life, woven through every moment. The cage was never outside you. It was the illusion that you were somewhere else. So stand, breathe, and recognize it. You are home. You are always home. And as you allow this to sink in, everything shifts. The fear, the striving, the endless comparisons. You do not need to become anything. You do not need to arrive. You simply need to be. And in that simple being, the miracle of presence reveals itself. You are awake. You are alive. You are free.